Diary of a Ghost Hunter, Part 3. The Old Man. About age 12, 1996. I remember it being an unusually cold night. Must have been in the dead of winter. I laid in my bed, sheets pulled right up to my ears. The now comforting reminder of the boy who kept me company each night was beside me, sheets pulled tight around my waist, where his imprint in the side of my bed sat once again. I peered at the clock, 4:27 a.m. The table's side lamp was on, but barely bright enough to light up the room. Just beyond the gap of the doorway sat a thick blackness. The dark tried to creep in through my window as the moon was nowhere to be seen. I watched the clock for a moment, then out of pure boredom I rolled over to face the wall and tried to sleep. I scanned the pale pink wallpaper with the hideous flower print that my mother picked out, knowing I hated floral. She bought it with the excuse, "There's black in it, black is cool." My eyes followed the vine print, counting the flowers with each pattern turn. 1, 2, 3, 254, 255. I turned over to look at the clock again. Only 4:32 a.m. Then I froze, more out of surprise than fear, as I noticed a figure just beyond my clock. My door was open, maybe a foot and a half, and peering in through the darkness that sat heavily outside the door, a face entered the light of my room. A pale, gray, thin and wrinkled face of an old man. His skin looked paper-thin and deathly white, with a sickening gray tint to it. His beady eyes, unsure of the color, watched me. There was no sense or vision I was getting. This was no transparent spirit I was seeing. He was completely solid. Frozen in my bed, unsure what to do or able to move, I laid there, not breathing, waiting to see what would happen, and yet intrigued by this new visitor. The old man watched me for several moments, though it seemed an eternity. A chill ran up my spine as movement came from the darkness around him. Slowly, a thin, pale arm came into view, held perfectly straight with his finger pointed to me. He paused for a moment, his eyes never leaving mine. Then he continued his reach upward to the light switch that sat silently on the flowered wall, just inches from the doorway. He switched it off. The blackness quickly swallowed the light till there was nothing left, as if I had fallen into a deep abyss. I waited, hoping my eyes would adjust to the dark, but there was no light for them to take in. The darkness was too thick. I couldn't even see the tip of my nose on my own face. It felt suffocating. I slowly pulled the covers of the sheets over my head, somehow thinking that by doing so, the intruder couldn't get me. I exhaled, then rolled over and went to sleep.